didn't notice that I broke anything as far as the TV. I have to say yeah. And I feel back to the TV and knocked it off the deal. So that's how the TV got broke. I didn't purposely break the TV.
You broke into the house. You gave the policeman your key, and the policeman gave the key to the plaintiff and said, I am relinquishing my key to the house. That's the way it was left. You can't then break into the house, sir.
But she was there. After me banging on the door and then she finally opened the door after me kicking and all that stuff. So she said I knocked some stuff off the hinges. I didn't see that. But I was always trying to get my thing and get out the way. Like, and if I do that, the thing, if I always think about getting my clothes at night, she asked for the key. Well, let me grab my thing before I can
okay. Hi. I'm still figuring things out. So if you're here, hit the thumbs up, share this with someone because yeah, he's back there. He just had a fit. Because yeah, so I just gave my phone. Okay, let me share this.
The key I like to change with it was in the house too. So I was pulling that off and then I went to the window and got my stuff.
I also have a video of him breaking the window.
Hello, people. So this is not the original link that I had. I have to figure some things out. I'm still learning this stuff, but Happy New Year's Eve. If you're here, thank you for joining. We'll give people a little bit more time to get here. I didn't do any vlogging this week, and my editor pointed out some of the questions. This is what my child does. He climbs up here now, and this is my label printer for my 400 meter diva collection stuff, and he rolls it out. But anyway, my editor noticed a couple of questions, and he was like, it would be nice for you to do a year-end video on this topic. And I said, you know what, let's do a live. If I can figure out this software stuff, I would like to go live weekly, or maybe even, I want to say daily, but I'm like, I don't know if I can keep that up. Right now, it seems doable because I'm not in class right now, but when class starts back up, I don't know how doable that will be. So thank you all for joining. And again, share this live, give it a thumbs up. That's how you'll let other people know that thank you, daily isn't necessary, right? But you know where that came from? There are a few people on YouTube that I follow that do post videos daily, or they go live, and it's like 10 or 15 minutes. But I actually enjoy those 10 or 15-minute videos. And I mean, not that I'm watching them. I hate this light. Let me see. Not that I'm like mindlessly listening to them. But you know, it's daily content, and I'm trying to step my content game up. I really am. I really am. So, how is everyone doing? Where is everybody from that's in here? Because I feel like I always have like some international people in here. Where are you from? What are your plans for tonight? Is it the new year where you are in the world? I'm just scrolling through my phone trying to find, oh, Mexico. See, I knew I had some international folks in here. Yeah, morning devotions. I don't know if I, but you know, honestly too, the topics that I'm talking about, the topics that I'm sharing, you know, at the end of my workout videos or however they end up posting, it is kind of like good repetitions for me studying wise. So if that's okay, if that's content that you all would want to see and you'd be willing to tune in for, it helps me as well. He's watching Sesame Street. And I was doing my hair this morning. I'm not finished. I gotta go back and finish, but this job is better than the first one. Okay. Iman, well, I'm no longer engaged. I'm single, so I don't know. 12 is kind of young, but oh, Russia. Okay, so we got Russia here, Florida, Atlanta, staying home with the family. It's still 2020 in Maryland, another Mexico. Okay, okay. So you guys share this live. Also hit the thumbs up. So that'll give, I'm learning the algorithm situation too. Like, you give me a thumbs up, you share it. This will get out to more people. Okay, Iman. Happy New Year's. Ooh, Namibia. I hope I said that right. It'll be a new year in about an hour. Well, happy New Year. See, I knew somewhere in the world it's already New Year's. So anyway, this is super intimate. You guys are in my bedroom. You see, that's my bed back there. My diaper pail and my nightstand. The old live streams, tea time with Allison. Yeah, yeah. That's actually probably still one of my most viewed videos on here. So as I was saying earlier, I think I want to get into the habit of going live and kind of doing these tea times. Maybe we'll start off just weekly and then eventually move up to a couple times a week. But I'm really enjoying what I'm studying, and kind of talking through it on here is kind of a repetition for me. 9 p.m. in England, 3 hours to go. Yeah, so we'll bring tea time back. Maybe you guys could drop in the chat and let me know like what are some good days for you all to have the lives. When would be good times for you all? What days like what no, Wednesday doesn't work because that's when I have to turn my assignments in. So probably like a Thursday or Friday would probably be best for me. You don't have friends this year. Oh no. Okay. All right. So I've been here 8 minutes now. There's 24 people here. So thank you for joining. I just kind of wanted to I'm actually doing something small via Zoom with some friends of mine this evening. In the past, I used to host vision board parties at my home for the new year, and pandemic. So clearly we're not doing it this year, but I figured I'll do something small where for me this year, I'm personally like writing a letter to myself. There are some things that I want to leave in 2020. So I have a little fire pit. I'm going to burn it when I'm done, but then also write down my goals for 2021. And so I also had a question come up on one of my previous videos where someone asked, how's training going? And wanting to kind of talk about that and kind of my goals going into 2021. And I thought, you know what, that's the perfect video to end 2020 on. Yeah, this is the perfect note to end 2020 on. And also, let's do a live version. So instead of the pre-recorded video, here we are. I see you guys commenting about the tea time. I'm going to figure out the software thing because, now more than ever, as much as like I would love to come on and just talk about certain topics, I do also think it would be dope to have guests. So like bringing my coaches on, maybe some athletes that you guys want to hear from. So I got to figure out the software situation. But anyway, No, it wasn't meant to be, but thank you. um, so getting into and y'all can tell I'm not good at the whole like reading and talking at the same time. um, so to kind of talk about training for 2020 and like having to pivot to now training for 2021. I think I've already shared initially, I was like bummed because like, I don't, I start saying this like as an athlete, but I think that this is just a person thing where we have a plan in our mind, we work towards the plan, and then when things don't go as planned, especially when it's out of your control, I personally felt like the rug was pulled from up underneath me. And my plan was to train for Tokyo, go to Tokyo, retire. There were some other things going on that, I thought, but 2020 just like shook up everybody's world. It shook up my world. It did not start anywhere close to how I thought it would start. But it's ending in such a like beautiful way that like I see a counselor weekly and I told her, I was like, I feel like I'm like in this cliche, like everybody gets to the end of the year and you think about the year in review. And I was like, but I'm really hopeful about like where things are going for me because how the year started versus where I am now, and so in terms of training, like I felt great, like and I ran a couple of indoor meets. Here in Houston, well, here I live in Austin, but there were indoor meets at the University of Houston in Houston. So I ran two 400s there, and I ran 53 both times, and of course I was not pleased with that. But at the same time, I was like, I wasn't really in a position where I was pushed. Both races were I always feel like I'm always like, I don't want to step on anybody's toes. I don't want to be offended, but they weren't races that necessarily challenged me. So there was that piece where I was like, I do need to get in some better competition races, but I was also timid, coming back from postpartum and just like, getting out there and putting myself out there and just going for it. So I wasn't pleased with the times, but at the same time, I was like, I know that there's still so much more left in there. And then also giving myself grace and being realistic about the fact that, girl, you just pushed a baby out. It's going to take some time. So fast forward from there to, where we decided, all right, we'll shut down the indoors, ramp up training, we'll get ready for outdoors. And then there's all these whispers about the pandemic. And I'm like, I went to Beijing, I went to Rio. Both of those Olympics had controversy around them, right? Guys, if you are here, thank you. I see a couple more people joined. Like this video and share the link if you can. Let's get some more people in here. I'm learning that liking and sharing helps with the algorithm. So I'm trying to push myself up there to get more views, more subscribers, and I will continue to do things like this, i.e. lives and posting more consistent content. So fast forward to, we start hearing the mumblings about things going on in China. And I'm like, Beijing, it was the air quality. Rio, it was Zika. The media has a job to do. They're just, they're telling a story. But when I got to Beijing, the sky was clear as ever. And I didn't see one mosquito in Rio. So I was just kind of like, not gonna happen. And I had one training partner in particular that like, she was like on it. And I was like, girl, you're stressing yourself out. There's no way. And then it was like, finally, when it was starting in the news where it was like, they may have to like push back the Olympics and it's starting to come, our way. And, we're seeing numbers increasing. And then Canada pulled out. And once Canada pulled out, that's when I knew like, okay, yeah, Canada like definitely was the, the trump card. I'm not good at spades. So don't, don't take my black card. But, Canada pulling out of the Olympics was kind of one of those things where it was like, oh, okay, like Canada's going to force either the United States hands or the IOC. And so said, so done. The IOC ended up postponing the games. And literally, I remember being in the living room, and my mom and Liam were there. And my mom looked at me and she was like, "You're tired, aren't you?" And I was like, "Yeah." Because it was just like, I so much so came into this season with like, I am going to finish my career on my terms. So that being, I'm not retiring after having my child. I'm going to prove to myself that, as a mother, I can do even more than I even expected. And I was just going to go out the way that I wanted to. And but it was also like I was hoping and planning to move on to the next phase of my life as well. And I'm a single mom, and keeping in mind that like he depends on me, and it's really expensive to train for the Olympics. So that being in mind, like automatically my sponsorship came, straight to mind. Like, what does this mean for me sponsorship wise? If I don't have sponsors, then I can't fund my training because, like I said, he depends on me, so I can't make those kind of choices anymore. So, anyway, went through that whole process. Here I am, still training, still going. So, in July, and it's so funny because there were a series of meets at the Prairie View University, the HBCU series. They started on my birthday, July 23rd, and ended on his birthday, August 6th. We're exactly 2 weeks apart. So week one, I ran the 300, shocked myself because I just went into it with no expectation. So again, I went into a race that like, I think I was over a second ahead of the other girl who was in the race because, social distance. There's only two or three of us in the race. So when I saw the time, I was like, "Oh my gosh, hi Amelia." When I saw the time, I was like, "Oh, okay." And I felt good. It felt easy. And then I also ran the 150 that day. That was And then the following week, I don't remember what I ran the following week. And then I ran the 400 the last week. And by the time I ran oh hey, okay, PV grad. By the time I ran the last 400 the last week, I was like, "Ooh, we're not even gonna talk about it." But honestly, all things considered, again, I was just kind of like, you have to be realistic that like to compete like that. The 400 literally just felt flat. Like the gun went off, and when I say flat, the gun went off, and it was just like I was just like, okay, here we are. If I tried to go faster, I couldn't. If I tried to slow down, it was like I was just literally one speed. But to that point, like I had only run those two races earlier in the year. And then I ran, I think, a total of 5 races within 2 weeks. Because although it's 3 weekends, if you think about it, the 23rd to that, I think it was the 30th, and then to the 6th, like it's actually 2 weeks. So um I hadn't been used to oh, I'd love to do a tea time with Nick. Nick is dope too. Um it had been a long time since I raced like that in such a short period of time. I did nothing because I am like super COVID strict. Like I don't go anywhere. I wear a mask everywhere. Um And so, like, I hadn't even gotten a massage for the year, seen my chiropractor. I've done none of those things. So that's also a thing for 2021 that, like, I'm going to pick back up doing those things, which is kind of scary because here in Texas, our numbers are just beyond. But, all things considered, I was just like, it wasn't a bad year, and um, also bearing in mind, once the games were postponed, my coach then had to adjust. Texas is wide open. You ain't never lied. I'm gonna get to that in a second. But once the games were postponed, my coach had to obviously adjust our training because we train on like 6 weeks mesocycles. But when you don't have any competition dates, it makes things challenging. And so What was most challenging for my coach was that, and I think this was across the board for all athletes, where it was like, we got to stay fit, we got to stay ready, because we didn't know if we were ever going to get the phone call that like, hey, I need you to come to this track meet. Can you make it here? But also, he didn't want us to mentally burn out. And so that became a real challenge because, we again spend so much of our career, of our life, having like this meet schedule, having this schedule and these goals that we're training towards. And it was like, what am I training for? Like, and there were days that we got to training and that was literally the conversation that we would have, where it was just kind of like, well, what am I out here doing? Like, okay, we're gonna do a time trial today. Am I gonna race this year? Like, what are we doing? So that made for things to be a bit challenging. But anyway, fast forward to now, I am glad that we continued to train, because once we started up training this fall, I mean, obviously, I was able to start at a better, a more advanced level than I was able to start last fall. Whereas when I started training, yeah, he's on the phone. I hate it, but for the purposes of I'm on live with y'all, we use it in these instances. But he knows how to find Elmo. And oh no, see, you be trying to spend mommy's money. You already starting that. No. Here. Watch the happy dance on the moon. So yeah, so training has been amazing. Like I said, I was able to start at a better fitness point, if you will. The first day of training, both of my coaches were like, "Oh, this is a different Natasha," because normally after the off season, because we did, I don't think we did a full 6 weeks off, but we did do about 3 weeks off. Your girl be partying. And I come back nice and fluffy, so I have to lose weight. Then we get into like the real training. She came back fit as a fiddle. So my weight is great. A couple of people have actually commented like, oh, where's Sticky Hastings or something like that. Like I'm super fit, and like, and by super fit, I mean like lean. And some of it is I am still breastfeeding. And I was lifting in my garage. Get you a PS5. All right. So and then actually I did lose quite a bit of muscle mass because I had stopped lifting, because gyms and stuff were shut down. So I'd stopped lifting. I'm breastfeeding, training, and yeah, I'm trying to get back on the lifting videos. I just feel like the I don't get much variation in the lifting videos because I don't have a videographer and I'm literally just propping the camera up. And but I probably should do some like voiceovers and talk through the lifting videos as well. But yeah, so if you guys have any questions about like training and like what I think about this season, I'm not really hopeful that we're going to have an indoor season. I saw, and it's kind of one of those things where like I'm training as though there will be an indoor season because it's better to be ready than not. But seeing them cancel the World Indoors, and then Millrose was canceled shortly after, the signs are pointing to maybe not. So, but definitely still planning for the outdoor season, obviously, and then the trials, and then Tokyo 2021. So, let me know if you have any questions about my training and my plans for 2021. I feel like I saw a comment that I was like, I'm gonna block you in a second, but I can't lose my train of thought right now. No more elliptical. No, I actually have a flat on my elliptical, so I need to change it. But I still use my elliptical. I love my elliptical. Oh, here it is. Oh, okay. I see. Okay. All right. I see now that I can add a moderator. What's that? Okay. I don't know if I trust you as my moderator. I don't need one today, but when we get the things up to lots of people, oh, I need to do this. So much stuff to keep up on. I know you will, Aisha. I missed y'all too. You dancing? Okay, what did you think about the mixed relay 4x4 from Doha? I haven't talked to Allison or Okolo in terms of what they thought about it. I thought it was pretty exciting. I don't know how I feel about a mixed relay, meaning how I feel about running a mixed relay, but it was exciting to watch for sure. Do you think it was mentally when you think of how well the 300 went? I guess mental always goes into oh wow, Jeffrey, thanks for the super chat. Is that what they're called? Mentally, I'm always like in that, like trying to have positive thoughts, but for the 300 and specifically, I know that I went into it without like any expectations. Like I said, this is an opportunity for me to see where I am, because I didn't want to put any unnecessary pressure on myself, because it was also one of those things where it's like, there's no Olympics this summer. So this is really like, we're just trying to stay in shape. Don't put any extra pressure on yourself. That crap never really works, because I'm just a competitor. Anytime I step out on the track, I want to run fast. I try to honor the process as much as I can, but it's still, I'm still a competitor. I still want to get out there and run. So it definitely was a mental thing, I would say, for sure. A mental always plays a part in it. In that, oh, thanks for joining, and share the video, like the video. But yeah, I'm happy to be back, and I will definitely be trying to do more of these. I think Thursdays is a better time for me to do these. But yeah, so mental game is always a big one. But yeah, I went into that race with little expectation. Yeah, the Olympics is on schedule for next year. There's just conversation about like, will it be spectatorless? Tokyo has said that no matter what, there is going to be an Olympic game. So the question then becomes, will there be spectators, or will it be limited spectators? Kind of hard to imagine, considering how many billions go into hosting the Olympics. And that's, when I was telling the story earlier about like not believing that it was going to be postponed, that was one of the main reasons why I was like, too much money went into that. There's no way they're postponing it. And sure enough, they did. So yes, it's on the schedule, but I'm sure we're all paying attention to the COVID. There's this new mutation, and then the vaccine. There's talks of like forcing the athletes to take the vaccine. So we'll see. Iman, that's hilarious. I wonder, it's funny because like we do, like he's a baby, so like he tries to run away from me, and I'm always teasing him like, boy, do you know who your mother is, trying to run away from me? So it's interesting because my I was probably about 13 before I could beat my mom in a foot race. So I want to see how long it'll be before he'll beat me. Justin Gatlin is not in my training group. I'm in Texas. I believe he's in Florida somewhere. To be honest, I'm not feeling the vaccine either. And I'm not like an anti-vaxxer at all. We both got the flu shot. I take him, he gets his vaccinations at his wellness visits. But me personally, I feel like number one, the vaccine was rushed, and number two, and when I say rushed, like rushed in the sense of like it happened so fast. So I shouldn't say that it was rushed. But we don't know enough about COVID itself. So if we don't know enough about COVID, then how do we don't know the long-term effects. We don't know, and then now we have a vaccine. It's just I don't know. But I do, yeah, I'll just stay home for now. As much as I can. I mean, I do have to go to work. I do have to train. I do have to complete taking the vaccine. So we'll see. And like I said, I do believe in science. I just think we just need a little bit more time to be sure about this thing. Let me see if there was. Yeah, it would be nice to see Van Niekerk back in his prime. Okay, I didn't miss anything up there. Bobby 2204, I agree. Yeah, Anthony saying, oh, that's a good idea. Scheduled for an allergy test before any vaccine. Yeah, because people are having reactions to it, and I don't want to join the conspiracy theory conversation. So I'm just gonna. I was getting ready to say something, and I'm just like, no, because I'm not. I do try to be as logical as possible, and I don't want to. I'm not a doctor, and I don't want to be spreading no misinformation. So, any other questions about training? Do you guys want to talk about? Oh yeah, he'll definitely be in organized sports. We'll probably we have a little T-ball thing now that we haven't played with in a while, and it's pouring raining out today, so we're not going to go outside today. But we have a T-ball. We got a little basketball hoop. I want him to try golf. I want him to try. We were doing swimming. I'm not comfortable going back out swimming yet. And then, the new rules for the relay. What's the new rules? You mean in terms of the adding the mixed relay? Yeah, I still use my elliptical. I love my elliptical. It's good for the joints. Oh my goodness, Liam. How do you end up there? Thank God I don't have a credit card on here because you would just be spending my money. Oh, 8 people in the pool. Okay. I see. Yeah, that definitely does increase. More people can medal. Really? At 13? Oh, I'm gonna have to ask her. I think it was 13 before I finally beat her. She probably still beat me like to 30 meters because my mom was a short sprinter and a long jumper. So, can I ask what is your opinion on the Nasser case? My opinion. I don't even know where to begin with that one, honestly. I watched a video the other day about, first and foremost, let's start with, I feel like if the rules are the rules, the rules are the rules, and the rules are the rules for everybody, right? And so, between her and Coleman, there was like this conversation about like, well, is it realistic to, have to do your whereabouts as often as you do? And the doping control officer should have called, or should they have not called? Do they call? Do they not call? But I just kind of come from, I think I'm a little old school in that it's a part of your job. Like a part just as much as being ready to compete on the set days that I'm competing, showing up to practice, eating properly, sleeping properly, doing the necessary recovery. I think filing your whereabouts is just as much of your job as well. So the idea that like missing tests is like a normal thing, I don't agree with. I've missed one test in my entire career, and I've been, hey, Sean, I hope I said that right. I've missed one test in my entire career, and that one test that I missed, I was like freaking out, and I called my agent, and my agent was like, "Calm down. This is your first time missing a test. You get 3 in a calendar year," and I never missed a test again. So, and Aisha, I have to agree with you that it sounds more like excuses for young people. Exactly. Cheyenne. Okay. I recently announced an award show um, for some awards for USATF New York. And that was like the biggest thing for me. I was like, I don't care if I mess up the rest of the script. I just want to make sure that I pronounce everyone's name right, correctly. Like that's my biggest pet peeve is for someone to mess my name up. So Cheyenne, thank you for correcting me. But yeah, Robert, I feel the same way. I just, it's a part of the job. I will never forget my first international team was, well, actually this was my second international team or third. One of them teams. It was the World Juniors. I think that was my third international team. The World Juniors 2004 in Grosseto. And by that point we'd all been drug tested because you had to be drug tested to come to the international competition. I've been getting drug tested since I was about 15 or 16. And they came in and said, and this is another reason why even Marion Jones, like Marion was like, I idolized her. Like I had her spikes but to this day, her argument, I'm just like, I just need her to own it. And I feel like she didn't own it. But anyway, I remember the USADA representative coming in and say, this is a bottle of water. And she said, if you open this bottle of water, you take one sip out of it and you put it down and you turn your back and walk out of the room. She's like, I don't care if you come back in the room to get it, throw it away and open another bottle. Because if you ingest it after someone has contaminated it, put something in it, if you test positive for it, it is your responsibility because it's in your bottle, in your body, I mean. And that has always stuck with me. Always. So when it comes to the whole doping thing, like I there's very little wiggle room for me on that. So I hope that answered the question. When you receive your Oh, definitely national pride. But you know what, kind of a mix of both. And I don't even know if it's a personal satisfaction because um Ed Medlin asked, was it a sense of national pride or personal satisfaction hearing the national anthem played in my honor? It was even, um, like my family was standing right in front of the podium, so kind of having that moment with them was special too. So it's a little bit of both. You're notified when they ring your doorbell. That is how you are notified. Sometimes in the instance, like before I moved to my home, I lived in a gated building, so they would have to call from the gate, of course. Um, so in those instances, you might get a phone call, but when they ring your doorbell is when you're notified. Um, 4 tests in a row. And, I thought so too, if I'm honest. George or Jorge, I thought so too. But, if there's a way for them to find a technicality or something, I guess. Yeah. Uh-oh, older people are not raising kids anymore. They just want to be friends now. Yikes. That's a topic for discussion because that's like another video or something, because I think a lot about how I want to raise Liam. And I do think that that's a fine line, but my relationship with my mother is practically my best friend. But I think about like wanting to raise Liam to always have a voice and know his voice and be willing to speak up for himself. So that's interesting. Jordan Lee, but we're educated on that too. We're educated on this the supplement industry, and I take supplements myself. I take prenatals because I'm breastfeeding. That's pretty much all I'm taking right now because I'm breastfeeding. But when you take supplements, you have to be educated on who are you, what companies are you taking supplements from? Are these companies reputable? Are they testing their products? Are they making sure that no banned supplements make it into the products? But yeah, but we are well, let me say, the American athletes are educated on it. How well you receive it or pay attention to it is a different conversation, but the resources are put out there for us. I'm Jamaican and Trinidadian. And I'm used to it, so it don't bother me none. And I'm not on any like message board or anything like that. I don't engage in any of that stuff. Oh, thank you, Cheyenne. I have been using Frey Skin. They actually just sent me some stuff that I've been meaning to post, but I use and if you go to my Instagram and shop from the link in my bio, that'll help me out. Can't wait to see you race. Can you teach reflexes because you cannot teach speed? I think so. I think so. I like this question. How did I feel about the last season of Insecure? I knew that girl was going to be pregnant. Oops. Did I spoil it for anyone? But I thought it was good. Yeah, I always do the 2 and the 4. I love doing the 2 because the faster that I am in the 2, the faster my 400 is. So most definitely will. Hopefully we get some meets on the schedule, and we're able to, get some repetitions in. What are you smiling at? What are you watching? You want to say hi? Say hi and show the people that you bust your lip today. I have a little Spider-Man. Bobby 22, I can't even say it. 2204. I feel you. Dear 2021, you have one job. Be better than 2020. That's it. You don't have to be in the top 10. Just be better than 2020. Oh, man. I had to pin that one. Thank you. I think he's a handsome young lad, too. He might be. We'll see what he ends up doing. You gonna play a sport? Elmo's singing right now. He don't have time for me. Iman, you are funny. Oh wow. Under Armour handled it. Skitonia, how did Under Armour handle my oh, thank you for that, Bobby 2204. Under Armour handled my pregnancy really, really well. And it was actually one of the things that in hindsight for me, we're at 35. Guys, like the video, share it. Please get some more folks in here. But I shared my pregnancy at about 5 or 6 months. Probably about 6 months. I think I started showing around 6 months. Around 6 months was when I couldn't hide it anymore. And when I called them, they were like, oh my God, congratulations. Why didn't you tell us sooner? And I was like, really? And then a couple months later, uh, Montano's story came out and in the New York Times and a couple of other girl stories. And they actually called me back and they were like, so I want to apologize to you because, you know, you told us that you were afraid to tell us, but we didn't realize like what kind of pressure you were under. So my experience with Under Armour was really, really good. We actually did a small campaign around my pregnancy and just have kind of like told the story of me coming back from postpartum. So yeah, but you know what I think made the difference for me was that when I made that phone call, I made the phone call to women. I didn't have to make the phone call to men. So, and actually, um, it was two ladies that unfortunately they're no longer with the company. But when I did call, um, the lady, the second lady that I told, she actually is the one who signed me to Under Armour back in 2012. And also, she was like, I get it. You know, I remember when I had to call my employer and tell them that I was pregnant. And she was like, and my husband, he could not understand it, but it's a pressure that, like, you know, but then seeing the story come out, she was like, oh, you felt it on a whole nother level. And I was like, yes. Yeah, Aisha, clearly I was talking to a woman, right? Um, how much do you hydrate? I hydrate. I hydrate. I really don't like keep track of how much water I'm drinking because I just try to just chug as much as I can throughout the day. But it is important to note that you need to hydrate well before. If you think that you're going to hydrate like the day of before a workout, that you're not hydrated. So, um Um, you know, interestingly enough, Jordan Lee, I am a firm believer that like the faster your 200, the faster your 400 is. And if she gets down there coupled with Nasser and they get in the right race, it is quite possible. Oh no, Ed Medlin, that is the absolute worst pressure. It's not even sometimes. The worst pressure is the pressure that we put on ourselves, at least for myself. I know that to be a fact. You're absolutely right. Thank you, smooth operator. Oh wait, no, not sub 47, sub 48. I think like 47 high, 48 low. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thanks for correcting me on that. You know, another idea that I had, and you guys tell me what you think about this. I was thinking about like certain track meets, and maybe I could start out with like collegiate track meets because I know the collegiates are going to have an indoor season because they have a bubble system in place. I need to be drinking water. I was thinking of doing reviews on the meets where like we come and chat about the meets. Kind of like how we did the 2019 nationals and world championships. I thought that would be pretty cool. I can understand if she's so give me your I'm like jumping from conversation to conversation. I can understand. I mean, she has the gold medal in the 400, so maybe she wants to focus on the 200 to get the gold medal in the 200. Yeah. 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 I can see all of it. You never know what's in a person's mind, but she is definitely a great all-around sprinter. Oh my goodness. How old is your son, Iman? Or is 12? Is that who we were talking about earlier? Okay, Robin. I'm gonna try to get it together. I have all these great ideas. It's just, do I have the time to do these things? Tamari Davis. I'm not sure who that is. Oh, my neighbor left me something at the door. Skeetonia. I like people to sleep. I like being the underdog. Like, don't worry about me. I'm over here worried about myself. I ain't worried about y'all either. So it's all good. Okay. I'm gonna have to check out Tamari. 4x1 for Team USA for 200 people. I mean, besides Allison, and I don't know, she may or may not want to do it this year. And here's the thing, like, even as a 4-2 person, you still have to show like some sort of fitness, some sort of something why you deserve to be on the 4x1. So yeah, what are you doing? What are you doing? Robert, that would be dope. Okay, Cornell. You dancing? Victor, that was drama. That was drama. I'm not with your name right now. That name easy. They say that the shorter sprinters do have an advantage because their legs have less distance to travel. But Usain Bolt defied that. Aisha, you are funny. That's my second phone. This is my phone right here. So that he can use, well, let me not say he can use that all he wants, because I like for him to play with his toys. I don't like that this is babysitting him, but I'm here with y'all right now. Here, let me fix it for you. All right, guys, if you have any more questions, we're coming up on an hour. We'll close out right at an hour. So just drop your questions. Oh yeah. Smooth operator. You definitely want to be working your quads and hamstrings equally, because if one becomes stronger than the other, then they start to pull excessively. Honestly, I don't really listen to music anymore. I'm listening more to like podcasts, and your use of the phone around him is weird. Probably, Aisha, probably. Jeffrey, I'm actually working on getting into some local stores here. So that's like my focus for Q1 of 2021 is getting into some stores. I don't have any plans of like any more. No, I was about to tell a lie. My adhesive eyeliner, I'm going to be coming out with some more colors, but I don't have any new lipstick colors in mind yet. No, no plans on doing the 200 in 2016. I'm hungry. What are we going to eat for lunch? Next year is my last year. I will be retiring after this season. Will I make 5 15-second ads? I need to do better on my marketing. I'm like, my marketing is trash. No, y'all, I am one more year and that's it. Jordan Lee, if that's what I have to do. But no, nobody plans that. That just happens. Okay. Well, I'm just retiring from the sport. I'm not able to like just retire. I still have to work. Will you take the vaccine? The Cleaner 42, we talked about that earlier. I am not in a hurry to take the vaccine. I'm actually grateful that I'm at the end of the line. I would just like to see more research and more time between both the coronavirus itself and the vaccine. I don't like to be the first. I will go into mental coaching. I won't be like a track coach. I'm studying clinical mental health, so I'm going into sports counseling and family counseling, and just overall counseling, trauma counseling. So I would like to coach your mind, but I don't want to go out to the track with you every day. So that's the type of coaching that I'm going to get into. Thank you, Cornell. It's bad when you're dancing to Elmo. All right, if we don't have any more questions, I'll end it. Some comments from the other videos I recently posted. I should pick up golf. Oh, I'm good. I'm good on that. I would like for him to pick it up though. Actually, a few days ago at practice, this guy was out there with his sons. Health is health or health is wealth. I do agree that health is wealth. Okay, let me find. Aisha said I should answer some comments from previous videos. Someone asked, Mazam, did you ever get a groin injury and how did you deal with it? I did, and I went to the doctor. And the doctor took care of it. But I had such a bad groin injury, like I could barely walk. It was, it was during a time that I wasn't eating meat. And so I think it was protein deficiency. Thank you, Vincent. Thank you. My favorite leg to run on the 4x4 is second leg. I like running second leg. Somebody's Jorge Lewis, which I saw you in here. A week ago, you asked, do you think Tokyo 2021 is really happening? I'm thinking they might even move it to 2022 due to the new COVID or something like that. If they move it to 2022, I'm not going. I'm done. So it better happen in 2021. Oh, Damon Hoyle. I did see this comment where he said that I should extend the girl child post into a live discussion. Of course. Hi, Yanni. Good luck to you. Keep working hard, even during quarantine. Chemical health? I don't know anything about that. I did run against Ana Guevara. My first year, 2007, she was in my semifinal at the World Championships. Iman, thank you. That means a lot. My favorite indoor meet to compete at? y'all. I did my hair again. It's still not finished. I have to fill in the back, but I still parted it too big. But anyway, my favorite indoor meets. I'm probably gonna say Birmingham in the UK because I ran pretty fast there. All right, guys, we hit an hour. I appreciate you all spending this time with me on this New Year's Eve. Hopefully you learned a thing or two about me. I'm wishing you all a happy new year, and maybe we'll pick this live back up next Thursday. Leave some comments. I'm gonna leave this up, but maybe there's a topic that you guys want to talk about next Thursday. Thursday is a better day for me to do this live. But yeah, happy new year. Thank you. Smooth operator, I'm not understanding your question. I'm sorry. Okay, guys. Bye. Happy New Year.